Yes.
All
She
right.
can't even hear me, dude. She's got her headphones on and is probably shooting terrorists as we speak.
Should be live in a minute. That's probably going to be the beginning of our show. Out of context is always really good. Oh crap! I forgot to
Yep.
open up the
All right, so
chat.
Moon, what's a kebab for you?
What is a kebab for me? It is. I think it might be lamb, but it's basically a bunch of processed lamb on a big, massive skewer that spins around in a little heat container. That when people get very, very drunk, they go into Chippy's local fish and chip shops, take a big slice of it off, stick it on a hat on a bun with an assortment of lettuce and tomato, and then shove it in their faces to take the edge off the how drunk they are.
See, I always thought they called a gyro a kebab. Essentially, the
I've
same thing. It's a big piece of rotisserie lamb mixed meat that comes in a big fucking roll.
Oh yeah, and like literally they cut it off with what looks like a fucking plaster spreader.
Now I'm more thinking. Like, I am thinking that's a sandwich.
Yeah, I feel like
But
that's in that
Because
middle ground.
I mean, I kind of compare that to like a shawarma because I think a shawarma is a sandwich.
Yeah, I could get behind that.
Fuck, I want a shawarma right now. Oh,
All right, let's continue with this article about the Ryzen chips.
okay,
well, I mean, I'm fascinated. It's something like I've always liked computers. I don't really know much about them other than how to put them together and get them to run.
Mhm.
But I always find that the advances in technology fascinating to me.
Well, especially for CPUs, because I feel like every time they start to stagnate, you always start seeing these articles where it's like, I don't know, man, Moore's law, right? And then, somebody comes out 6 months later with a new chip, and it's just like, holy shit! Like it's
Well,
twice
yeah.
as fast, and it's smaller. Remember the old Pentium 2 CPUs that were this long? Now we're back to the same size on the motherboard, and it just keeps getting faster and faster.
Yeah, like it's always fun like going and shopping and actually trying to compare and contrast these where now like the language has gotten almost unbearable. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, is this good? It's why sites like PC Part Picker survive because no one knows what they're buying.
Well, and I feel like
Mhm.
that's the better thing nowadays too is I feel like it's way easier to buy CPUs because you just need to find that balancing point between price and performance. Like you can look at an i5 and you can look at an i7 and say, well, the i5 is going to be $500 cheaper and it's this much slower than the i7, so all right, that's where my budget. It's the same thing with video cards, where it's like, do I spend $200 or $400 or $800? Where do I? Once you get over that $400 price, is the juice worth the squeeze for you?
I love
I
that
don't
phrase.
I don't understand like and again like I don't understand like the bleeding edge level stuff anymore. Like nothing you own, like it's not like in the days where Doom 3 came out and you literally had to get a new computer to handle that
Mm.
thing.
Same with
Or Half-Life 2. Or same thing with Crisis when
yeah,
Crisis came out. Like
Crisis is
that
the
thing,
the historical answer.
right, his seriously would melt down computers.
Yeah. All right, so they're comparing the Ryzen 7 1800X to a bunch of Core i7s on the 5, 6, and 7, and it's not too far behind. It's a little bit. Thank you, In6 Chunks on Beam, for hosting us. It's a little bit behind. Metro Last Light is about the same. That's not too bad. So what is that? Stock clock speeds. Locked at 3.5, it gets a little bit closer, except for which game is that? Ashes of the Singularity, DirectX 11. Hey, Sacred Herb.
What's up, Tom? I remembered. What's up?
This is where that's not Tom either.
What? I thought Sacred Herb was Tom Gamer.
So yeah, I put doubt in your mind with one
Is
sentence.
anyone Tom Gamer?
Oh, you guys gotta be fucking with me again.
Yeah, I don't know. These tests are interesting because they're sort of taking umbrage with AMD's. So, like, this is Ars Technica, and I really respect their reviews, but they're sort of taking umbrage with AMD's clock speeds in their marketing, which obviously AMD is going to make their stuff look the best. But AMD is doing a bunch of benchmarks with games at 4K, which most games at 4K, ours is saying, are going to lean way harder on the GPU than the CPU, which makes sense. So the tests that they're doing are only on 1080p stuff, where that flips. It's going to push the CPU harder than it does the GPU. And yeah, I mean, the benchmarks for the Ryzen are slower than the Core i7 6950X, but higher than the Core i7 7700K. Which, okay. It's not crazier or better, though. Like, it's not... You don't look at... You know, the bar isn't here for Intel, and then, like, 50% of it is Ryzen. You know, it's not...
Right.
It's not like AMD's last gen of chips, where you look at them and you look at the Core i5 and you're like, yeah, why would I buy an AMD?
Well, price, but I don't know, man. It's just
I feel like Ryzen can do well for AMD. I feel like if you're not a super hardcore gamer, then you're probably going to be fine. But I mean, if you're buying, like, if you're going and you're buying something like, I can't even crap talk Alienware because their machines lately have been okay. If you're going and like having somebody build you a white box, like, they're gonna try and push you an i7 hard.
Well, yeah.
And that has the marketing for most people that are gonna play games.
No, but even that, like, whatchamacallit, like, one of the guys we just upgraded his workstation. He said, I have to have an i7. I'm like, why?
Yeah. I mean, that's what Intel has in their corner of the ring. They have...
Yeah, it's inside.
Well, they have this, like... It's almost... As somebody who uses Apple hardware, it's a lot like Apple's stuff. Where, you know, you have to have the top of the line, and you can't just have the MacBook, you have to have the MacBook Pro. And it might be $1,000 more, but it's this bigger. And Intel has the same thing. A Core i5 is really great, especially if you get a K and you overclock it, like the one I have in mine. But you could get an i7 and overclock that, and that's got to be way better because a 7's bigger than a 5, right?
I haven't overclocked anything since my Pentium 3.
I have a 2500K in my machine right now, which is a super old chip because we were just talking about 6,000, like 6590Ks. It overclocks itself. Like, when it's overclocked right now, it's running at 120% right now, because I'm pushing all this stuff. And I haven't needed anything new. Granted, I don't play any games on here, because it's a 2500K. But, you know, if I was going to buy another one, I'd be buying an i5, 6950K, probably. And maybe not even a K. I don't care about overclocking that much.
Yeah, I mean, it was me, because I had that, man, that machine. I'm surprised that computer never blew up. I mean,
the one before this one?
Yeah, no, it was a Pentium 4. No, I think it was a Pentium 4.
It was before I think your previous one was a Core 2 Duo, right?
Yeah, it was a Core 2 Duo. Yeah.
Yeah, so your Pentium 4 one, yeah, that thing was a
That
beast.
Oh, Jesus.
that
You
Pentium 4.
discussed that on the show?
Hmm?
What?
The Core 2 Duo? Like, real early on, I think. Did you have it when you started the show?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think.
because I remember.
Yeah, when did the Core 2 Duo come
I
out?
That
seem to
was
remember you guys talking about that on this show
It
about
would have
how you were.
been real early days. Core
yeah.
2 Duo, that came out.
Because I think I built that machine in 2000. It had been around 2010 when I built that machine.
Yeah, because
No, it was before that.
you hopped in pretty a little bit later on that.
No, because I was still. No, I built this one in 2010. That's why.
Core
And this one's 7 years old.
Core 2 Duo came out July 27th, 2006. So that was a little
Yeah.
bit before the show started.
No, it was right about when I moved into this house.
Yeah,
Well,
right. Because
legitimately moved in. Yeah.
you had the previous beast in your old apartment.
Right. Yeah, because that one. I mean, I had that thing clocked at. Oh man, I think I had that thing hitting about 4.2 gigahertz.
Yeah, and that was a decade ago. That thing was
That
really pushing it.
yeah. Well, it was funny 'cause like the amount of performance I got out of that. Remember, I had that HP, the Ford Motors, Ford Motor Company, the one that they gave the employees. It was my
Yeah, yeah,
one of my
yeah.
dad's, and I had that thing running. It was Windows 98,
Yep.
and I had everything. It was so lean, and it was just crushing games.
Yep.
Like it had the NVIDIA TNT2 card in it, and it was just awesome.
That was back when you could really get into Windows and turn a lot of that stuff off.
Yeah,
You're going
and
in
then
MS config and just pulling stuff out. If it doesn't break
right.
it, it's coming out.
Yeah, like whatever you need to run basic, I ran it, and then
Yep.
then the great crash happened. Then I upgraded XP and pretty much crippled that machine.
This machine I'm running is running so much better with Windows 10 on it.
I like Windows 10, but I'm getting a bit fed up of some of the shit that's inside of it.
Yeah.
Like I've had an update. I think that's what was killing my network. Was I went into my task manager to see what was running. Like an Xbox app was running in the background,
Yeah.
which I recently installed and then stopped from running in the background. I had Cortana back up and running again. I had everything back up and running after an install of a new app and an update on it. And all of a sudden, all the shit I told it to turn off is turned back on again.
Yep. Yeah, Microsoft's got a. They have to allow you to turn that stuff off. I mean, that was a great thing about Windows 7 and a great thing about Windows XP is if you're running it on a lower end machine or something you were just sticking on an old laptop, you can just gut that thing real easily. And it could run pretty nicely. Where it's like, look, I don't even want to run antivirus. This thing's not going to be on the internet. You could do that, but with Windows 10, they're pushing that stuff way too hard. You can turn it off. There's a lot of programs you can download out there to just go through. You just check a bunch of checkboxes and it goes through and it makes all the changes in your registry, but you shouldn't have to. You should be able to go into Cortana in the control panel and say, turn it off and don't turn back on ever.
Yeah, unless I tell you to.
Yeah, because Cortana, I don't need Cortana on the desktop. I don't even use Siri on my phone. Like I don't want to use it.
Oh yeah, I uninstalled Siri because my iPhone's a 5S. Siri was causing it to chug like crazy.
Yeah.
So I just disabled it.
Oh, Letterbox does not have an Android app yet.
Lame. That's surprising.
It's coming soon, allegedly.
I'm always really surprised when companies put out apps on one platform and not both at the same time. It seems like I'm not a mobile developer, but it seems like there's so many middleware tools to try and get that stuff up and running on both platforms as easily as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so I went on a tear and I watched all of the I can't say all. I watched from the Android Saga to how far they did
Oh,
for
fuck
that
me.
that Dragon Ball Z abridged by Team Four Star.
Oh yeah,
That is gold. That is what that show should be.
yeah.
It is. I sent you that message. I think it was either episode 50 or
Said 51.
51, where Cell finally becomes perfect,
Yeah.
and then he starts singing. It was he just like sings a song about him being perfect,
Oh,
and it
jeez.
was like I was hysterical because it was so like, oh my god, like this is what this show needed to be.
Well,
Like,
and those people really love Dragon Ball.
oh,
yeah.
everything's
Like they're teasing
great.
out of love.
Well, they have this thing every time Krillin gets owned, a little thing pops up. Krillin owned X number of times, and it's just like a black shadow outline with a big white bandage on his head.
Oh, nice.
Um, but yeah, because one of the times Android 16 was looking at birds, and then Krillin quacked like a duck, so they kept calling him the little duckling the whole time.
That's really good.
And Trunks made a joke like, he's like, well, like I could never be a friend. And by the way, Krillin, you can't sleep with this one. And there's Vegeta goes, ha, no Robo.
That's really good.
They're so perfect because like they're the jokes you want to hear, but the show takes itself so seriously at times.
Yeah.
And especially like everyone just seeing Goku as just this bumbling boob
Yeah.
is just the best.
Mhm.
Here, Gohan, we're gonna work on dodging. What? No, I can't tell if you're serious or not because there's no middle ground with you. It's either insane or stupid.
Oh, that's Princess Trunks.
The Princess Trunks thing was, oh my god.
That cracks me up even just thinking about that. Why is your hair different color? That's Princess Trunks.
Well, there's that one scene where Vegeta's going to allow Cell to become perfect because he wants a better fight, and Trunks jumps in and blasts him across the planet, and there's Vegeta just laying in there. He's like, huh, never felt this. Pride in somebody else, but is blinded by this unyielding rage.
Jesus.
Oh man.
Oh, I've got one episode of Jessica Jones left to go.
Yeah, I played the
Oh.
I watched the first episode and really liked it, and I haven't had the time to watch the rest of them.
That's fine by me because I need more time to catch up anyway.
Yeah.
I've still got Daredevil season 2, but holy crap, does that thing go places I never expected it to?
Oh yeah. That goes great places.
Very
Especially the hints they drop in that, because there's some characters that I'm pretty sure you don't know that they tease Hellcat and
They tease Hellcat, really?
yeah,
Wow.
Hellcat and
If you say Moon Knight, I'm
I think the Patriot. I can't remember if that's his correct name or not. But the cop dude is actually like a legitimate.
Yeah, he's Nuke. He's a super villain.
That's it. Where he eventually will have the flag painted on his face, but
Yep.
that doesn't happen. So no spoilers on that. But
yeah.
I did not expect that for that character to show up.
Yeah,
Like,
me
that one's
either. He's a Daredevil villain as well, mostly, isn't he?
Yeah, so it really goes places, man. I think Luke Cage is my favorite series out of all of them.
I'm excited for that.
Not just
haven't
in tone, but just that dude, just fucking Luke Cage, man.
Yeah, he's like right off the pages.
I'm really pumped because I don't know anything about the Inhumans, but me and Jess watched Spectre, and we were discussing who would be a good new Bond, and I think Beast from the new X-Men movies. I think
No.
he would be a good new Bond.
Come on, they're trying to make him the next Jason Statham. It ain't fucking working.
But she made a great call and called Ewan Rian, who's a Welsh dude. He is the bastard Bolton in Game of Thrones. He's also Simon from a British TV show called Misfits, and I think he would do it really well. But then I did some looking into it, and he's just being cast in the Inhumans.
Yeah, as what's it starts with an M.
Yeah,
Magneto.
Maximus the Mad.
Yes. Yeah, Max, which he is perfectly cast for that, by the way.
Yeah, he does creepy so well.
No, because that dude's crazy in the best way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I just rewatched the last 2 episodes of Game of Thrones, and holy crap, I forgot how awesome that show is. I cannot
I'm like 2
wait.
seasons behind.
I cannot wait for that to come back. Speaking of that, like, I just started Into the Badlands, one of those weird AMC shows that has 1 season. I think they have another season coming back, I think this year. That show starts off hot. Man. That was really cool. The like dystopian future and whatnot, and apparently all the barons own plantations. From what I can gather at this point, it's pretty cool world building so far.
Yeah.
All right, we got to get started. You guys ready?
Yep.
Sure.
Talk about video games, I guess.
Makes a change.
We're so good at talking about other stuff too.
That's true. It's like we should have more shows.
I can't wait for the leaves to come back on the trees.
It's suddenly so bright over there. All right, starting in. Sega Herb's got it. 3, 2.
Beware the light.
Backwards. All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston. Going around the room, we have Knobs.
Heyo.
And Moonpeer.
A suitable British hello here.
Oh, you're not going to go howdy?
Howdy, partner.
I can put my sun hat back on.
That's true.
I probably should.
Yeah, at this point.
Jeez.
Put it on the other hat. Put it right on there. There we go. All right. You should really watch the video of this show. All right, Knobs, what have you been playing this past week?
All right, well, we had another successful Monday night game night. Played a nice little Monday night horde for all the folks. And, you know, I think the first time we actually finished the docks is a map we never played. So we got a little too extended a little bit at the start, and we all reconsolidate it back into the middle, make another good pinch point. I had another murder alley set up on one side, so we had one flank we never had to worry about, which was pretty cool. And then I got to play with more turrets and whatnot. Moon actually posted a video, him getting the Fabricator level 4 by wave 15.
Wow.
And if you could give me that amount of money to spend, I don't think any of us would have to shoot a bullet.
Oh no, I still need to jump back in and try it on the harder difficulties. But yeah, I'm excited to try and do that.
But yeah, that's what I think. Donnie shot you an invite a little late earlier this afternoon because we were going to see how well we could roll with just the 3 of us.
He sent me a message. He didn't actually send me an invite. He literally said, "What's up, Rainbow Six Siege?" Spoiler for a game that's on my list.
Yeah, but it's Donnie. Like I think you were one of probably 6 people he reached out to, and it literally was just him and I with some randoms. And I think I was playing a heavy, Donnie was being a scout, and we built all the stuff with an engineer in our group.
That sounds about right when you're playing with randoms.
Yeah.
It was like I don't understand. It wasn't even repairing anything, and the one dude was a soldier, just sat in the back. I think it was just 4 of us. I think we got to like wave 12, and then Donnie shut it down. Like
shutting it down.
Next thing you know, I was like, "Did we just get kicked from the game?" He's like, "I can't deal with this." I'm like, what? When did you care about this stuff? So we did that a couple times. I missed the game last week. I started playing The Force Unleashed for backwards compatible.
A game we loved when it came out on the 360. How does it hold up?
That game did not age well.
Ah, crap.
Like, I remember that game. Like, I remember the Vader part being slow.
At the very beginning?
Right.
Yeah.
Because you're Vader. Like, you don't have to run anywhere.
Yeah, I'm not sweating. Suit's hot enough.
Yeah. You're Vader. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But once you got back into The Apprentice, I remember that game being so much quicker.
Mm-hmm.
And it isn't. And especially having stuff all leveled up. And then you have like those list of cheat codes that you can put into the cheat area. But once you do that, it doesn't save your game anymore. Like,
So it treats it like a sandbox game at that point.
I just want a different color lightsaber. It's all I want.
Yeah, I feel like that's a savable thing.
Right.
So,
Or
out
I
of
want to
curiosity,
play. What?
out of curiosity, you said it feels quicker. Are
No,
you sure you're not thinking of Force Unleashed 2 because of the speed you can go through that?
That's 2 hours quick, not
No.
running around quick.
I'm talking gameplay felt quicker when I originally played it. Now it feels cumbersome and slow.
Yeah, that's interesting because my memory of the first Force Unleashed is that it was a fairly snappy game. It wasn't playing Sunset
Ninja
Overdrive or anything, but it was a fairly smooth game. But I'm surprised to hear that it's a little sluggish.
Yeah, it just didn't feel like it had that power behind it that it felt like the first time. Like, yeah, granted, blasting through doors with force push is still really satisfying, and pulling TIE fighters out of the air in the middle of a fight is still amazing.
The thing that I'm thinking here is I wonder if that game was fast at that time, and every other game like that we were playing was agonizingly slow.
That's a very good possibility.
That frightens me.
which kind of makes you want to wonder and go back to a game like Ninja Gaiden Black.
That's what I was thinking too.
And really see, like, because that game was brutally quick.
Yeah.
Like back when, but you had to fight at a slow pace to really string combos together and make yourself this menacing death ninja.
Yeah.
But
that's one I almost don't want to go back to, because if it's bad, that would break my heart.
It would, because that's one of the best games I've ever played.
Yeah. And
looking back at it, because even was it a few months ago when we were doing the game club for what was that? Republic Commando.
Yeah.
Republic Commando felt like I was running around with sandbags on my feet.
Yeah.
Like,
that game is such a... It was so ahead of its time in some regards, and at some regards it was very much a game of its time, where the interface was the same, the movement speed was really slow. Just so much of it was like, yeah, this is a game that's about 10 years old, and it does some really cool stuff, but man.
Yeah, but that's a game that really didn't shine until the third and fourth levels, when you really had to split up your group.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember that game really fondly too.
Yeah.
Because I've been having the itch to go back and play Empire at War again, which is still one of my favorites. But do I really want to sink all that time into that?
Yes.
Or do I got to buckle down and really finish the third pack of StarCraft? Because I still haven't finished StarCraft.
So, Knobs, the Star Wars Empire at War Gold Pack is on sale right now at GOG for $5.
I already own it, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, but for $5 you can make it run easily on whatever version Windows you have.
Oh, all right, maybe. Wouldn't be the first time I bought a game more than once. Probably won't be the last.
Just the understatement of the century.
Yeah.
Whether I own it or not. If it comes in a steelbook, sure, I'll buy two.
That's fair.
All right. I played some more Chime, and So the time mode does something really, really interesting that the previous version did not. Um, Once you hit around like the 90 to 95% coverage rate, and if your time runs out, it'll drop it and bring a new board out.
Oh wow.
So you can actually so you can go beyond 100% completion on it. The deepest I've gotten, I think, has been 4 boards,
Hmm.
which puts my completion somewhere in the upper 200s, 200 range. And apparently that game is endless if you're really good at it.
What's the fail state of that mode? Are you playing for like 20 minutes, or are you just playing until you die?
I think you start with 2, and you
Okay.
build on it. And that last one, the one that lasted that long, ended up being about a 20-minute run.
Nice. That's not bad.
So literally, it's you're building, and the coverage rate is what gives you time. So if you plan out your piece setting style, because I go until I get to a point, like I go vertical, and then the second I don't get a piece I like, I start building horizontal.
Right.
So perpendicular to the line I just created, and then I'll build off of that line for as much, and then once I get a piece I don't like, then I'll go back to the block that finally cleared on this side, and then build up, and then start filling in all my holes. So that's kind of my way of playing that. There's another mode in it called Sharp, which gives you about 10 lives. And the lives are on blocks that get destroyed. So once that bar passes through 4 times, on the 5th, it will clear a flashing block. So as that block clears, so if there's just one little dot, you lose 1 life. And if there are a ton of them, it's going to eat all of them in one swipe.
Oh wow. Okay.
Jeez.
So to unlock the next mode is you have to get 60% completion in that, or 60% coverage rate, which I have yet to do. The closest I've gotten has been 55.
Oh jeez.
So either you're going to move fast and try and get it done quickly, or you're going to do it very methodically because there's no time limit. So you're allowed to sit there and place as efficiently as you can. You can actually sit and think about where you want to put this stuff. But if you have blocks on the board, you got to move fast and figure out how to clean those.
Chime is cool. While you were talking about that, I was thinking, I want to play every Extend Extra Extreme again. I think that's backwards compatible now.
You know what? I played that game, and I don't know exactly what I was doing, but man, I was having a good time doing it.
I was chaining airplanes together and making stuff blow up and getting power-ups, and I loved it. The game was great.
Yeah. It was a pretty game to watch and play.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wholly recommend Chime as a good time suck. I mean, that game there's about I think 18 to 20 tracks on it.
Yeah, this is Chime Sharp, right?
Yeah, Chime Sharp.
I think
yeah.
it basically takes Chime and just adds a dozen more tracks and a couple more modes, right?
Those original tracks are not in this.
Oh, okay. Which is fine.
A little disappointing, but I understand it's different.
Probably some
There are a
licensing
couple
issues
tracks
too.
on there that are hot. But man, that half swastika piece, that thing can go suck it. I never want to see that thing ever. Oh, I do not know how to use that piece efficiently.
Oh man.
The amount of times I've been in a party with Nobs this week and I've heard that exact phrase coming
Yeah.
out of his mouth.
Oh man, I
God
get
damn
so
it, it's another one of those.
Oh, it gives me 3 in a row, and I'm like, if this was a disc, I would break it.
Yeah.
I would nuke it. And then lastly this week was I played some more Berserk. I was screwing around in the endless eclipse modes, where you're digging deeper into layers and layers and layers of the game, where essentially you're fighting in hell. And everyone you run into is either dead or a character that has befallen a very bad thing. And I have been mostly maining with Zod in this area, and oh boy, man, is he a tank!
Yeah.
I started running into a problem. I think I was in a party with Boston trying out the PlayStation chat for the first time.
Yep.
And and there was like I think I was in layer 21, and I was taking damage, but I did not see how that was even happening,
Hmm.
which was really frustrating. And trying to build anything your vitality back up, there's usually like chests and stuff around in the worlds, like in the main game. There's none of that in the endless equip mode. So
I feel like that's one of those games where, like, for half of a second when the level loads, it'd be like, careful of the poison mist. And it's something you would just never see. And at the end, it'd be like, you got killed by poison mist. It's like, thanks. Great.
yeah, I don't think that's it. I
Yeah.
just maybe the archers were picking me up, but there's no tactile vibration in the controller letting you know you're being hit.
Right.
Is the thing. I mean, and the combos are different, and it's and if all these characters play so differently from each other, that game's got a lot of legs.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If you want to go through the completionist route of actually like crushing that game. But I really only see myself playing through probably Zod and possibly Griffith because I got to see if he turns into Fento.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
You don't think you'd play through? You don't? Do you think there's not enough content there to really pull you through like 4 more playthroughs?
I really don't know.
Is it
I mean,
when you're playing as a different character? Is it telling a different story if you play the story mode, or is it the same thing?
there is so much action going on, and there's so much dialogue that you really cannot pay attention to it.
Okay, it's the standard Musou problem where someone's yelling at you and he's like, "Yeah, I know, but I'm fighting 300 dude. I don't know what you're yelling at me for. Like, give me a second."
Yeah, especially at that point where everything isn't a threat per se, but you're concentrating on filling these meters so quickly so you could just dole out this unbelievable amount of damage.
Yeah,
Mhm.
So you're really not paying attention to what's being said. It's essentially background noise.
right. I'm working over here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I got stuff
There's a
to
portrait.
do, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
there's a
stuff to
portrait
do.
in the corner telling you exactly who is talking. Like hell, you can listen to it though.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
yeah.
not- it's not
Casca's
even
yelling at
like-
me, but
It's not even a corner. It's like right in the middle, and it's essentially covering up the thing you're trying to fill up. Like, so what are we doing here?
right. You got some Star Fox.
Yeah. It's like as bad as getting a message on the Xbox One that goes over every subtitle. Like,
Yep, I
Donnie
was
sent
just
you a
gonna say
message
it's like
saying-
trying to.
like
It's like trying to play pinball or Power Star Golf. It's
Yeah.
like, dude, right over the gutter or right over my shot bar.
Yeah.
yeah, right on the shop bar. Like, really, this really just happened again.
Donnie, go away.
It's 2017. Can we please move those notifications elsewhere, games?
Yeah.
Like, there is like next to nothing in the top corners of games anymore. It's all on the bottom.
I think that's why Sony has theirs up there and it's really tiny. But then for some games it's like, oh cool, that was my health bar, so I'm dead. Thanks.
Maybe that's a game. Should be a game specific thing where notifications come up.
Yeah.
I think top right's going to be your best bet. There's rarely everything up there
It's a mini map.
Or
That's about the
anything
worst.
of anything that could be of any importance.
Yeah.
Uh,
Anything else you played this week?
No, just trying to up my high score on Luminous, but other than that, no.
Standard. Moon. What have you been playing this past week?
Not a whole lot. Well, actually, I played a lot of a little, but only really a couple of things worth talking about. I played so much Rainbow Six Siege today.
I know.
Like, my wife and I were up at about 10:30. Well, I was up at 10:30. And we played Rainbow Six.
So no one's
Siege.
awake before you, so okay.
Oh well, no, she was up at 5.
The cats are.
Yes, they actually helped to wake me up of a morning. But we played Siege from probably like 10:30ish till about maybe 10 minutes till 4 this afternoon. It got a
good
little
day.
ridiculous. Yeah, it got a little ridiculous. And I think I've nailed down why I like both For Honor and Siege, which is those. It's like those. The times you play games and you get, and I'm going to use air quotation marks here, those moments, like for example, pulling a TIE fighter out of the sky, or this awesome thing just happened. It's like if you have a good round in either of those two games, then you can have those moments every single round.
It's your water
It's-
cooler moments where it's like, I cannot wait to tell someone at work or whatever about this cool thing that I did.
Yeah, or now thanks to the possibilities of the new consoles. Holy crap, look at that video I just took.
Right.
There's me getting the last kill in the last second of a round from halfway across the map with the sniper, and it's like 2 pixels worth of being able to see the dude, and I actually got a headshot on him. And it was
Xbox
incredible.
record
Yes,
that. Or now it's
exactly.
Cortana record that. I'm sorry.
I haven't I haven't changed that yet. We actually have ours set up so that mine responds to Xbox and my wife's responds to Cortana.
Smart. See?
So we don't end up
Multi-Xbox
starting
household. These are the things you got to think of.
Yep.
Yeah, I like
I
it.
can never activate her because the second I do, I cannot go back to using the original Xbox one.
Once you go to
I have
Cortana,
to.
you never go back.
Well, exactly.
Really?
But yeah,
That's all I have.
I think that's why I've played so much Siege and For Honor recently, is because we've got a couple of people who we play with now on a semi-regular basis, and a friend of the show, Ian, his friend Gmo, we've played Gears with him before. He's a good guy. He's played Siege with my wife. We're trying to get Ian into it just for a really good time of making fun of somebody.
Well,
Ian, no.
Ian's good for that though.
Somebody has to be
He's
the
a
butt of the
good
joke.
he's a good sport.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We
He
kid because
really
we
is.
love.
But no, we've got a good group of people who all play now. My wife has got literally 30 people on her friends list who just play the game. So anytime we pop in, you're almost guaranteed to have a full squad of 5. You can go in, you can play some casual, and you can just have a good time, have a laugh and a joke, and experience, quote unquote, those moments.
I think in the old days we used to call that pub stomping. Man, I don't know why that came into my brain, but good times. Quake 2,
Oh.
That's because you're an RPG player at heart, that's why.
I guess.
Second thing I've played, shout out to Shrobomb from the Discord channel for giving me a swift kick in the bum. I am back in civilized space at last. Elite
no.
Dangerous. I'm home. Thank you. And yeah, that game's still so great, and they've added so much more to it. I have been in the far reaches of space for 2 updates now because I've been taking my sweet time about getting back.
So basically,
And-
you've been away from home while they created the internet. You came home and you're like, what is all this? What happened?
Or-
Pretty much.
Or he got out of prison and they created the internet.
Yeah.
You get out and holy crap, everyone's got a smartphone. What is that?
The hell's Wikipedia?
That's actually not too far off because I come back and all of a sudden there's about 5 times more loot than there used to be. You get loot for doing different things. They've updated the way the ships operate, the way cargo operates.
I
the
went to
way
a
missions
store and
operate.
there's all this stuff. I don't even. What is this stuff?
I know. It's crazy how much changes have happened to it. I know Shrobon plays on the PC, and I believe the next update is the Commander update, which lets you customize your person. So you're not just wearing basically a black spacesuit, and I think he's currently in that.
Oh, nice.
But the changes they've made are fantastic. Like, they've added whole new mission structures, whole new mission types in there. It was one of those moments where I was like, oh crap, I've been away for so long that it is like I'm starting to play this game from day one again.
It's pulling me back in. Guys, help.
Well, to give you an idea, I think I probably put about 30 hours into Elite this week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and my game time is now up to above 300 hours.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I've still got a lot to do. That's the fun part of it. But yeah, it's at that point though now where I'm looking at it, I'm thinking I'm all like, if someone has it or wants to buy it on the Xbox One, I'm back at civilized space now. We can wing up. I can teach you and help you in any way, shape I can. I can give you a good start off by basically going bounty hunting with you, and then as long as you get one hit in, you get a bounty. The problem is now is there's so much more stuff in it. It's how do I explain to them? Ignore all of this other stuff that you see in front of you right now. Let's just focus on this one little thing.
It's like bringing your friend into World of Warcraft, where it's like, okay, I need you to do these 5 things in order. Don't forget, forget about all this cool looking stuff around you. We have something to do. Just focus.
Yeah, exactly. It's like getting somebody out of the starter zone in that exact scenario. It's just like, no, we need to get to the point where we can be a group. Do this.
Here's 1,000 gold. Let's just go.
Yeah,
it's like jumping in a new class with us on Gears.
Yeah, like, exactly.
Yeah,
know your role.
Yeah, just shoot something, and we'll get you some experience.
It's like playing Diablo 3 with Heiko in Nobbs' case.
Hey, why am I level 50 now? Oh, okay.
Broke
exactly.
It. Broke that game.
Yeah.
But genuinely speaking, like, the offer is there. If you are interested in playing Elite, I will gladly jump in. I will help you learn the ropes. I am on the Xbox One version, and I'm pretty sure that Shrobomb is available for winging up with on the PC version. Sorry if you're not Shrobomb, but now you're going to have to do it, so deal with it.
Such a great verb, too. Oh, you want to wing up?
Shrobomb?
Yeah, we'll wing up.
Oh, yeah. I haven't done it as yet because I'm always in a party when I'm in the Xbox version of it, but I believe the PC version has voice communication as well. And when you stop talking, it has radio static. So it's just that.
It's stupid in such a great way.
Yeah, exactly. My final game this week, I had a mysterious benefactor, somebody who I don't know who this is. It came. I got an email from this Boston.
Hold on, let me turn the lights down so we can start the dark incantation for when you say the title of this game.
Yeah, this Boston person.
Yeah. What did that handsome man send you?
He sent me The Binding of Isaac, Rebirth / Afterbirth.
Yeah, you did.
First things first, how the hell do you like this game? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding with
I love it.
It's everything I loved about Spelunky. And I did love Spelunky. Spelunky is a very difficult game. It's a very run/rogue-like game. It's everything I love about that, but in a gameplay environment I'm more comfortable with in a twin-stick shooter.
A poop-covered Zelda?
Yes. That's a really good metaphor.
That's how I describe it to people. They're like, oh, what is it like? I'm like, it's Zelda with a lot of poop. Like Zelda 1, just a lot of poop.
Mm-hmm. You've always recommended, ever since you started playing it, when people start playing this game, start it, do a couple of runs, don't look at a wiki.
Yes.
So far I've kept to this. I meant to make a note of all the stuff I've got, but I forgot to already. I have Azazel.
Nice. Good job.
I have the 7-heart container person as well. I don't know who that is.
Maggie, I think.
I should have written this down. I just forgot to write it down. I have defeated Mom. I have just wait until I get to the questions part. That I did write down. I defeated Mom the first time. I also defeated the Mom's Heart, which
Nice.
I was really, really lucky on the Mom's Heart one because I basically just had a run where I got all of the items I needed to basically not have to really do anything in that fight except for stand there and shoot.
Oh, nice.
I got the flies that circle you and protect you from projectile damage.
Yeah.
So I was basically, like, while she's doing the bullet hell pattern, I was just standing there going, what?
Sitting there yawning.
Nothing. Yeah, exactly. Okay. I'm enjoying it so far. Here are my questions.
Okay.
Are the bottles random every single time?
Are the bottles random?
Yes. Like, it looks like a little salt shaker container that you pick up, like a little thing, it's got a coloured cap. You pick it up, it goes in the right bumper slot, and it's just got question mark, question mark, question mark.
Oh, pills.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, pills are random. You can think of those like presents in Toe Jam and Earl. So they might have the same...
Okay.
Oh, so basically there are only a certain number of
designs.
colors and designs they can be. But like if you pick up an orange and yellow one in this run and it's X-Lax, the next time it might be Telepills. So it's always going to be something different.
The next run.
Yes, the next run.
Okay, so I've noticed because like I had one makes you smaller.
Yep.
And then I picked up that same color again, and it said in the bottom right instead of question marks, it said one makes you smaller.
Yeah. So
since
you use that, you've identified it.
Yeah.
But the next time that might be hematemesis.
Yes, which is the best one.
Hematemesis is really good.
Yes, it is. I have run across way too many barred doors with iron bars across the front of it. It's usually got an arrow on the map.
Yep.
I don't know what they are. I'm assuming they can only be entered by a certain character or from a one-way door, basically. So you have to find a secret way in.
No, those are called mob trap or boss trap rooms. If you look above the door, there should be like a skull icon, or that'll be a mob trap room where you just fight regular enemies. The boss trap room has like a more ornate skull. It has curved horns. The mob trap room, you have to have full health to get in. The boss trap room, you have to have 1 red heart or less.
Oh, okay. So essentially those bars are just you haven't fulfilled the health requirements.
Right.
Okay. I was curious about that. I have an evil stat.
You do. This is going to get into some inside baseball stuff.
Okay. I just needed to know because some of the items say evil up. I will try and figure out what it does kind of thing. I'm assuming the more evil you are, the more difficult everything around you is, or vice versa.
Evil is a weird stat where... So evil is one of the few hidden stats in the game. Like when you press the start button, it shows you your 6 stats? 8 stats? Yeah, 6 stats. 8, yeah. It's a little bit like luck, where the higher luck you have, the higher chance you have of items proccing. Evil is weird. It only really matters for a few items that make... Have you picked up a trinket called Black Feather?
No.
Okay. So, like, Black Feather will strengthen you the more evil items you have, but there's only like 2 or 3 things in the game that take advantage of basically your evil value. So that's one of the few things you don't have to worry about too much.
Okie doke. I did a bunch of challenges. Well, I looked at a bunch of challenges. I unlocked a bunch. I completed the darkness one and found a really useful trick. The Bible kills Mom.
Bible does kill Mom. Bible has a couple other surprises associated with it.
Yeah. Okay. If there is a locked door on a floor, is there going to be a key on that floor?
No. There's no guarantee of having any drops.
That was bothering me. It was like seeing a locked door, knowing I've killed everything on the floor and there was no key. It was one of those things where it was like, is it guaranteed to be in one of the rocks scattered around the level? I just need to get very lucky.
Yeah, I mean, it could be in a tinted rock, but it...
Well, hold on. What the hell is a tinted rock?
Nothing. What? You've already blown up a couple of them looking at your Xbox feed. I'll let you discover that. That's one of the joys of Isaac. But one of the things... Are you playing normal mode or hard mode?
Normal right now.
Okay. One of Isaac is a balancing act when you don't have a run that is full of consumables like that. Do I open this door that has 2 padlocks on it, or do I want to save it for an item room, or I don't have enough money to get in the shop, so do I even open that? That sort of thing.
Yeah, it's the bitey doors as well. I always
the curse doors. Yep.
Yeah, I always stop in front of them, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah.
Even if I've only got one and a... Yes.
Oh, it's just white noise to knobs. Just...
Yeah. I think it probably sounds a bit more like...
Yeah.
Well, Well, I heard this game was like Zelda covered in poop.
That's true.
Yep. Let's see what else. Oh, speaking of poop, rainbow poop.
Yes.
Does that do anything, or is that just you shoot the poop and you get a rainbow on your screen?
It heals your red hearts.
I did not know that. That's good to know. Why can I not pick up batteries? Is that a different character who has like energy instead of hearts or something?
No, that's for your spacebar item, or on Xbox One, it's going to be your left trigger.
Yes.
Yeah.
So okay, so that refills that. That makes more sense. I've never had one of those items and had to pick something up before.
Yeah, that'll fill a spacebar item that has charges. Sorry, it's called active items.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's wait, that's my left trigger item.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh jeez. And prison cell rooms. Is there anything special about them? Because they seem terrifying and secretive, but I don't know yet.
Prison cell rooms.
It's like you go into the first floor of the basement, and there's one room that you go inside of it. It's got a prison cell feel. It's got one set of spikes in the middle of the room, usually.
You're playing Afterbirth, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, you're playing Afterbirth. Yes, that room has a purpose. I
decline
if it has
a purpose. Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
I got the game, got the DLC, and I just installed it all at once.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
you're playing Afterbirth. I
and...
think the main menu still says Rebirth. It's weird.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, I'm really loving it, and I do like the fact that you can go in and have a 5-minute run.
Yep.
We're like, oh, okay, that's good enough. Or you can go in and I think it was last night, like, I went to bed, woke up, couldn't get back to sleep, literally got up and was like, I know, I'll play this semi-Twitch-based shoot-em-up thing to try and help me get back to sleep. And that's when I think I beat Mom, I beat the Heart. I just had, like, 2 or 3 solid runs on it and made it through and got a whole bunch of extra characters who I'm assuming just have different starting stats.
And items and benefits, and I that's when I feel like the Binding of Isaac started to turn for me. I had a few really bad first runs when I first started playing it, and then you kind of get 1 or 2 really powerful runs, and it helps you to figure out what the boss patterns are, what all the rooms do, you know, how Mom and Mom's Hearts patterns are, and it's sort of like, okay, now I'm sort of starting to get this, and you start unlocking those characters. That's when it started taking a turn for me. I was like, oh, okay, maybe this has something.
Yeah, you can get further with less because you've been there with more and experience it a little bit. Spelunky was the exact same way with me. Like, the first time I got to the last boss, I had a million bombs, a million ropes. I had the jetpack, the cape, you know, all kinds of this stuff. And now I feel like if I got back into it, I could probably make it there with minimal gear because I'm used to the layout kind of thing.
The only thing I would recommend at this point is to not do the daily runs for a little bit.
Yeah, I've been avoiding them. Like, I saw it and I was like, no, I'm not going to jump in there yet because I don't know how bad that's going to get.
Yeah, daily runs are usually fairly easy, but it'll give you... It's random, so it'll give you like a random boss. You haven't seen many of the bosses. It'll give you your character you probably haven't played as. It'll give you a bunch of items you don't have unlocked yet. You know, it's not... I'd say wait till you have the majority of the stuff unlocked and then start diving into that stuff. Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I'm surprised by how much I've played this. Like, I only started it on Friday. And like I said, I've had a couple of really solid runs. I mean, like, it's like, oh yeah, I'll jump in, play around, and I'm almost always yes, I'm almost always like experiencing something new.
Yeah.
Every time I go in, I'm sure that will change as I get used to more and more. Some of the item descriptions are very frustrating because they tell you nothing.
Yep. And that's what people love and hate about Isaac. That's part of the reason why I love Isaac is you pick up a new item and it'll be like, it stinks, and it's like, oh, I just have to use it. Is this good? Is this bad? I don't know.
I've got the perfect example for you. I think it was a still beating heart or a warm heart, and it literally, the description was, it calls out to its brothers.
Oh yeah, Child's Heart.
Yes.
Yep. That's
So,
a really good item. Let you figure out what it does.
I didn't know what it did. I'm assuming it's either something to do with other hearts. So does it bring hearts towards you? I don't know. Final question, really quick. The gaps. Is there always a bridge over the gaps, or can stuff occasionally just be stuck there?
Like across a little chasm?
Yeah, there's a cross of land and then a cross of gaps, and then the platform you're on past it.
There are probably about 10 different ways to get over gaps in the game. That'll be an experience thing.
One of them is the Bible.
One of them is the Bible, yeah. You can also use bombs to create gaps in certain areas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've noticed that because someone died who was explosive in death, and then created a bridge by exploding there. So I was like, how did that happen? Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't really see it, so I'm just going to run across the bridge and get what I need to get.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
Man. Just think you only have about
playing
450 more items to unlock.
Oh, that's fine by me. I did notice, by the way, like, I think I was playing Siege, and it popped up with Jensen likes your achievement. Jensen likes your achievement.
You unlock some stuff. I was checking out how far you got.
Yeah, and my wife was like, someone liked your achievement? I was like, oh yeah, that's Boston, and I guarantee every single one of them is Binding of Isaac achievements.
Yep. Just checking out. Peeping and creeping.
Oh, that's fine by me.
Join us next week for Moon and Boston answer Moon's questions about Binding of Isaac.
And Nobs' sleepy time.
Yes.
Well,
Nobs goes to his happy
I've
place for a couple minutes.
Just tip of the cap, close your eyes, snorri,
Mm-hmm.
snorri, snorri. What have you been playing, Boston?
There's a new event in Marvel Avengers Academy.
Oh, I saw you tweet about this.
Yeah, Monsters Unleashed, they're calling it. I've got the event schedule here. Let's run down the new characters. Moon Girl, which is great. The grand prize of the event is Devil Dinosaur, of course. I don't know how Devil Dinosaur is going to be a walking around character on your campus, but I'm looking forward to finding out how they do that in a month. And 3 other characters I know nothing about. Elsa Bloodstone, Orgo, and Hercules.
Oh, Hercules.
And also I bought
Hercules.
the premium character is Amadeus Cho. So, bunch of Marvel characters I know nothing about yet. But that's why I like Avengers Academy. I can go find out who the heck they are. And of course I played more Yakuza 0. I was playing it while Knobs and I were chatting the other night. I think last week I was on Chapter 2. At this point I'm about halfway through Chapter 4. After finishing Chapter 2, at the beginning of Chapter 3 they introduce the other character in the game and the other town you go to. And the introduction to the other character is really, really, really good. And I was thinking while I was watching it, it's probably about a 15 to 20 minute cutscene. It's one of the very few games where I'm riveted the entire time for a 20-minute cutscene. Because everything in there is really, really interesting. And I don't think you can say that about very many games at all. The other character plays pretty differently. He has 3 other different fighting styles than the first character. The one I've been using lately is the Slugger style, where it's basically you use metal baseball bat like a pair of nunchucks. Like you're flipping around you and swinging it and twirling it in your arms, and it is just devastating. It's really
Swing away, Boston.
It's a
Swing
baseball
away.
bat.
Yeah, it's really great, and it makes
Did you just make a Sixth Sense reference? Or
No,
Science
even
reference?
with that, there you go.
God. It makes a really satisfying noise when you hit somebody with it.
Is it the metal tang?
Yeah, it's really good.
Oh, that ping noise is nightmare fuel.
Yeah. So far, the other characters are really great. I I I still really love Yakuza Zero. I think primarily because, like I've said before, it manages to balance so well this incredibly serious Yakuza story where the stakes are very high and there's a ton of characters and it's all really great. The voice acting is so good. And then at the other time, at the other the other side of the coin, this little girl outside of the Sega arcade doesn't want to go home until I win a machine out of the UFO catcher for her. Or I'm fighting with this older lady to go get some food at this stall, and she keeps getting the cops called on me, and you run away. Like, or when Knobs was there, I stumbled onto this store, and they said, "Hey, come on in. Do you want to watch a video?" And I was like, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. And it just had one person's name, and I was like, what am I even doing in here? And I go in, and it's an adult theater, and I'm watching this live action video of this woman in a bikini blow up a balloon that's about as large as she is, and then start like cuddling with it and dancing. And then at the end, I got a trophy that just says, "I did it for the trophy." So, Yakuza.
I have to know, before you move on to any other games or any other segments or breaks, how is Slotty doing? Who is the name I have given to your slot car?
So
Slotty.
I got Slotty Senior. I paid 50 million yen to get the, God, what is the other slot car's name? I'll pull up the names of the cars here.
The cars have names.
Well, they have like
Is it like the
model
divisions?
numbers.
yeah, they're like model names. What are these things even called? Yeah, it's really great in a way that is hard to describe because you're just racing slot cars, but it's a really great diversion from. I think that's why I like the side stories in that game so much, is because it's the perfect balance from this. Whenever the story gets way too serious, you can say, "Oh, well, I'm just going to go, hit up the batting cages, or I'm going to go play darts. I'm going to go race slot cars for, a whole bunch of time, and not have to worry about what this dude is asking me to do. That is potentially really terrible."
I'm shocked that wasn't a group message. Shocked.
The thing that I like about the slot cars in the game is you get this car and then you get all of these parts that you can put on there. There's like 8 different categories. So it's this great thing of, all right, well, that last race was really easy because it was just, an oval. But this one has a jump in it. And if I'm too strong, I jump off the track. So how do I manage beating these other cars while not managing to fling this car off the track? And you sort of get that balance going, and you win that race. And it's like, okay, great. This next track has a jump, and it has 2 ramps in it. And if you're going too fast, you just fling yourself off the ramp. And that's the one I haven't figured out quite yet. And you make it about halfway through 12 laps, but at that point I'm going too fast, and I just fly right off the track. So it's one of those things where it's like, okay, well, if I switch this part out for that part, then maybe, no, I'm going too slow. All right, this part out for that, no, I'm going too fast. Yakuza. So that's at the point where I spent maybe an hour and a half playing slot cars. And I'd said, I need to keep going on with the story because I don't have a lot of time to play this game. Especially with Persona 5 being around the corner. So, sort of need to wrap this
Gotta clear
game.
that schedule up.
Yep. Yeah, because I would feel really badly with how much I enjoy it if I didn't finish this game. Because if Yakuza 0 continues this same level of quality, it'll be on my top 10. easily. And I would really hate to get into the back half of this year and say, yeah, I really got to get back to Yakuza 0. I mean, I could just finish it.
That's such a hard thing to do, especially with the games that have those little time suck moments in it to not get distracted and put that thing aside.
Well, and the other thing to balance too is you have I think they call it sub stories. So it's all these side quests that you just run into randomly while you're wandering around the map. And a lot of those are really good, but some of them can take you 20 minutes, some of them can take you an hour, and you get a really good item or weapon or a bunch of money at the end of it, but that's also taking away from... You don't get experience in the game, so on the surface there's no real... I hate to say there's no real point to doing these side stories other than they're enjoyable and they kind of tell a touching or a weird or a funny story. But when you balance it, between making progress on the main storyline and finishing the game versus doing all this fun side stuff, it gets a little hard when I can't... If I could just knock out like 5 hours a day, that'd be great. I could 100% this game and we'd be good, but I have to balance.
It's kind of what happened with me and in that game God Hand, where I got into the casino and I could not pull myself away from playing blackjack and poison chihuahua races.
Yeah,
I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's the same thing where it's like, man, I'm really enjoying this game, but there has to be something good if I just win every poison chihuahua race, just like this slot car racing thing. Like, there has to be something good if I... There's good stuff if I do, like I was playing darts for a while and I was doing well enough that someone came up to me and wanted to play darts with me and said, oh, we have this whole group and we have this whole tournament thing. The better you do, the more like his friendship meter goes up, and the more stuff that unlocks, the closer friends you are with this guy. And I was like, what? God, really?
Only if you can make friends like that in real life.
I know, I'm really great at darts, so... This dude wants to be my friend now. It's like Persona 4. Your S-Link just goes up. So,
reputation grinding with the darts crew.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, that's the hard part for Yakuza is all of this stuff in there is so good, but having such a small amount of time to play it, how do I get the full Yakuza experience without saying, oh yeah, I did all that stuff, but I didn't do any of this fun stuff. I just did the main story. And someone's going to say, well, yeah, I mean, you missed all the fun stuff. Yakuza seems to be all of this stuff all at once. If you have 100 hours, maybe, but I don't. Persona 5's coming out. Like, I've got to... That's my priority for Q1 2017. So, thank God it didn't come out on Valentine's Day when it was supposed to. Otherwise, Yakuza 0 wouldn't get done this year. But, short month left. Alright, that's all I've been playing. Let's take a break.
Cool. I really gotta pee.
Okay. Moon and I will talk about Binding of Isaac.
Yep. I'll be back before he will.
Hi there, chat. Let's do the usual thing where I check up on any news stories while I've been recording. 4 news stories.
Sorry, turkey meatball soup.
Wrong button. Nintendo Switch teardown videos. Sacred Herb, I love having friends who can ask questions like this too. Is better than fun on YouTube. Yeah, I part of the reason why I bought Binding of Isaac for Moon, number one, it was his birthday a couple weeks ago. But number two, I want someone to talk about Binding of Isaac with. Nobody. I keep trying to convince my wife that she would like it, but she doesn't think she will, so I'm not gonna push it. But yeah, it's one of those games you sort of want to talk to somebody with, where it's like, oh, I got this great run. I had this thing and that thing and the other thing all together. Eurogamer had a nice article comparing Wii U and Switch on Zelda. Yeah, I just ran across that. I had seen a lot of text write-ups about, Zelda on the Wii U wasn't really that different from a game on Switch, and thankfully it looks like that is the case. So I have Zelda in my GameFly queue for Wii U. So that saves me a couple $100 from buying a Switch, and I can play the new Zelda at some point in the next couple months, I guess.
Hello.
Hi, Moon.
Bind of Isaac.
Yes. Oh, so what's your favorite and least favorite item? Sort of pulling out trinkets, because items and trinkets are separate categories. What's like your favorite and least favorite item you've picked up so far?
When I first picked it up, I hated the VR goggles.
Oh, Tech X?
Yes, yeah. I hated it at first.
Oh man, Tech X is so good.
But it is. That's the item I got when the first time I beat Mom. That's what made Mom a breeze.
Tech X is so funny when you pick it up. You're like, well, I'm not shooting anymore. Oh, I shot a big one. You're like, oh wait, that's really strong. It's like, wait, I can clear out a whole room with a shot. Wait, this just keeps getting stronger. It's like, okay, yeah, let's do this.
Mm-hmm. And then I ended up having like Psychic Shot as well while using Tech X. So it turns purple and then it locks onto people.
Yeah, did you get Spoonbender?
Maybe, I'm not too sure. That's my favorite weapon. There's some weapon stuff I really don't like. Are You a Wizard is my least favorite
so
thing.
Much. Oh, Are You a Wizard is so frustrating because it mostly happens when you're having a really bad run where you're like in the depths too and you have no damage and no rate of fire, or it's when you're having a really great run and it stops the train from running smoothly.
Yep. There's some modifiers I'm not a big fan of shot-wise, but that's by far the worst so far.
Yeah.
Item-wise, I think I'm getting used to the cards. I'm slowly starting to memorize what the different tarot cards do.
That took me a long time.
Yeah.
I still get confused about, I know what the Stars card does, but I always forget what the Moon versus the Hermit does. I never remember which one takes you to item room and which one takes you to secret room. I never remember.
And Moon takes you to secret because I've never had I don't think I've had the Hermit before.
I think Hermit takes you to item room. You know there's 2 secret rooms per floor, right?
I didn't. I kind of wanted to ask, but I didn't want to ask. Is there a tell to where the secret room is?
There's an algorithm for both secret rooms.
Okay, so if you knew the algorithm, you'd know where they are, basically.
Yeah, I think you'll figure it out. The normal secret room is pretty easy to figure out. It always seems close to the golden room. It can be. The super secret room has a different algorithm, and it's a little harder to suss out. I'd say if you haven't figured that out in a couple weeks, remind me and I'll tell you.
Okay.
Because some of those secret rooms can be pretty powerful.
Yeah, I think the secret room was how I got Tech X.
Yeah.
And it's just okay.
Well, it allows
I'll take
you. Yeah, some secret room placements will allow you to use bombs to get into rooms you would normally use to get in a key to get into. So you can sort of bypass some stuff, or get into a cursor room without having to take damage, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I did the holy guard, holy protection, something like that. Little golden halo at your feet. It mitigates the first hit you take.
Oh, holy
so
mantle.
Yes,
yeah, that's one of the strongest items.
The cash rooms.
I thought you had to unlock that. Interesting. I didn't know that was unlocked right away.
I might have unlocked it, to be honest. It keeps on telling me all this extra stuff that's unlocked. Now I've got what's his face's tooth, and I can summon him.
Oh, Monstrous Tooth. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
First day I played it, I think I got 10 or 15 things popping up on my screen saying, "Oh, you've unlocked this and this and this and this and this."
Yeah, that's the hard part about Afterbirth, where I think the first time you finish a run, it unlocks 10 challenges and 2 characters and a bunch of items. It's sort of yeah.
I feel I've got the Horsemen now as bosses, and the only one I've fought so far is Pestilence.
Okay. Yeah, you're making good progress.
The other 3 yet. It's my
Well, yeah.
it's my jam.
I won't.
I did do the darkness challenge earlier.
Darkness
I
was
actually
pretty fun.
completed the darkness challenge.
The other one I would recommend for an easy one is Tech Savvy. That one's pretty easy.
Oh, is that Tech X?
No, sadly. That was
Oh.
that's one of the original sets. So Tech X came in Afterbirth. It wasn't in Rebirth.
Okay.
Alright, I gotta step out for a minute. I'll go help my wife with something. I'll be right back.
Cool.
Just gonna hang out with my lifeguard hat.
Yep. With your weird farmer's hairdo, you look like a Mormon.
I do, except I don't sew my own clothes.
True.
I think more Amish than Mormon, but
I don't know the difference, dude. I'm English. We have neither of those over there.
yeah, they're only here.
I'm not saying they're only here. I'm just saying
They are.
my experience and
The Amish and the
exposure.
Mennonites.
Yeah, exactly. You start saying stuff like that. It's like, I don't know what the difference between any of these things is.
Well, the Mennonites actually use electricity. The Amish are, none.
Well, did I see a bunch of Amish people or a bunch of Mennonites getting on the train to come?
Those were Amish people.
Okay, because they were on the train with me when I came to Cleveland.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same thing happened to Donnie. Poor Donnie had no heat for 3 hours from Buffalo, and then they turned the heat
In
on.
his house?
Apparently, it was 90. No, it was on the train.
On the train?
Yeah.
Fuck. Jesus.
So kind of ruined the train trip for him.
Yeah. I mean, that's the funny thing is, like, people might give it flack, but, like, that is actually a relatively comfortable ride.
What time
I
did
think
I go
Donnie's
pick them up? It was
message
like
heading into New York is probably more apt. I hate my internet so much.
Yeah, I mean, as long as I think the ambient temperature's outside comfortable, I can't imagine that that's a horrible ride.
No, like, it has more space than I thought it would have. Hell of a lot more legroom than I thought it would have. Like, the seats were comfier than I thought they would be. I just feel sorry for Donnie getting trapped sitting in front of a yapper.
Yeah, I heard that guy was a bit of a pathological liar.
This dude flapped his gums all the way to New York.
Yeah, I was shocked, though, that he didn't send a group message that he's watching Tora, Tora, Tora.
What the hell is Tora, Tora, Tora?
It's a movie.
I figured that much.
It's an old war movie.
Yeah, fucking last night I went into bed really early because like I've been getting to bed early and then waking up like an hour later and not being able to get back to sleep again. And like I was in bed last night, it was like 10:30, and all I heard was badoo, 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 badoo. I was like, oh, for fuck's sakes!
Oh, it is a nightmare. Oh wait, hold on. You recently bumped your thread up.
Yes.
There it is. Yeah, what'd you think of that picture of what was that?
Oh, dude, that was fucking incredible.
That's funny. That's so Marcus.
Yeah. For... Right. Don't know what phone's all over there.
Oh no, that's.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time hearing you over the smell of my people's blood on your hands.
Oh no. Do not be that guy right now.
Oh, I'm going to be that guy.
I love this clip.
I am literally going to die.
Well, how about this? I'll heal you on one condition.
And that is...
Say my name.
Oh.
You don't even know my name.
Oh, I do. It's, Little Green.
No, it's Dende. Say Dende.
Dende.
Now say, please heal me, Dende.
Please heal me, Dende.
Well, since you asked so nicely...
Come back, hatchet man.
Hey, let's play on a little bit more, why don't you?
You healed me.
Of course I did. I'm a nice guy.
And now what's to stop me from kicking your face in?
Because you touch me, and you're not getting back up again. That's right, I'm your white mage. And nobody with the white mage.
Jesus. For anybody in Twitch, by the way, wondering about the... God damn it, dog. Tear the shit down. Thank you.
This is the best because as soon as he blows up and everything, he goes, healer down. Out of mana.
Oh, yeah, Nobs found this gem for everybody watching the streams. He found this absolute fucking gem of an advertisement.
Please, everyone, subscribe to Team 4-Star. Their stuff is fantastic.
I've actually got to hold this until Boston sees this.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Boston.
Yes?
See that top image? What's that an advertisement for without reading the text?
Gears 4, I guess?
Wrong. Lord of the Rings 2.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Someone put that up on News Republic as Lord of the Rings. That was the cover art they chose. Was Marcus.
Here's the first trailer and a picture of Marcus because he must look like a dwarf.
Jeez. Alright, let's...
Boston, did you catch that clip that I sent you with the white mage?
No, you sent me a YouTube link the other day. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet.
Everyone else got to enjoy it.
Yeah.
It was really funny. It ends in the best way. Alright, you ready?
Yeah.
Alright, ready in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody. We got releases this week for March 6th, 2017. Starting the third month of the year, folks. Lego Worlds for PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One.
I really want to know what this game is, and they're not really saying.
It's on the digital Xbox One store for $30, which is not a Lego game price. A Lego game price on the digital stores is $60 until about 4 years after it's come out.
Yeah.
Well, it's a platform.
Yeah. The only thing they're saying is it's a procedurally generated sandbox game. It's like, cool. What do I build stuff? Is it like Lego City Undercover, where it's like a GTA style game? Like, what am I doing here?
It's probably just gonna call it Lego Craft.
Yeah.
Nier Automata for the PlayStation 4.
Came out a couple weeks ago in Japan, and man, the reviews have been incredibly positive. So this is Nier, the sequel to the 360 PS3 game, except Platinum made this one. So
I wonder if the book still yells at you in this one.
I don't know if there's a book. No, you have like this floating thing behind you. If you pre-ordered it, you could get like a skin that makes it look like the PlayStation 1, which is really good. So it's like your mag behind you.
Awesome. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands for PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One.
No idea this was coming out.
I hate how much of a sucker I am for a Ubisoft-made Tom Clancy game, because good God do I want that game.
I mean, it changed so much from when we saw it originally 4 E3s ago. But it could be interesting. Sort of an open world shooter.
Open world co-op shooter, which is...
That's true.
That's me and my wife in a nutshell. If it's co-op, we can play it. We probably will end up picking it up.
I hope it's good. That seems like a really cool idea, and I hope it turns out well.
I don't know, we'll see. Speaking of suckers, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 comes out for PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One, because why don't I need a fourth copy of this game?
When I saw this pop up, it reminded me how much Ultimate MVC 3 never really clicked with me. It's fine, but it just landed at the wrong time for me.
I don't know. We'll see.
Will you get pulled back in?
I don't know, because like the Marvel vs. Capcom 3, I played the ever living crap out of that, and then 2 weeks later, here comes another iteration. 3 months later, here comes another one. I'm like, jeez.
Well, it's safe to say they're probably done with it at this point. Probably.
Yeah, probably. We'll see.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to news stories. Microsoft announces Game Pass. This is basically they're going for a Netflix model. So for $10 a month, you can download a copy of any of over 100 Xbox One and BC compatible 360 games. That's it. No catch. It's not streaming. It's not PlayStation Now. You want a game and you download it, and you can use it as long as you have the subscription. That's all we needed.
I will probably be the guinea pig for this, because I'm talking over with my wife. Based on, yes, I'm a pro wrestling fan. Based on how WrestleMania is going to go this year, I am cancelling my WWE Network subscription afterwards, which happens to be $9.99 a month.
Nice.
Which frees up $9.99 a month for me to do something else with.
I feel like $10 a month is a really great price for this. Not streaming is absolutely the right choice. And this, as someone who doesn't have a ton of money right now, as in I have zero, I can budget $10 a month pretty easily and potentially blow through a game and say, okay, cool, that was really fun, delete that, download the next one.
This essentially is a one-for-one replacement for GameFly.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably better than GameFly, because you don't have to wait for something to come to you.
Yeah, you just have to wait for it to download. And the really interesting thing, they haven't really listed which games are going to be available. I like that it's both Xbox One and 360 games. So as more 360 games become backwards compatible, you'll hope that they just get added to the list. They've said it'll launch with about 100 games. They show here like Saints Row 4, Halo 5, Lego Batman, the Mega Man Collection, Terraria. You know, they're showing a lot of really big games there. So it's not just, C-tier games, but, it's pretty cheap, so why not?
I really want a new Saints game.
Yeah, someday, I bet. They're taking firing up on UE4, maybe. The interesting thing, too, is if you want to keep a game, it's 20% off. So, and any DLC is 10% off, too. So
I'm sorry, every digital game should be 20% less than its physical counterpart.
Someday. When GameStop's out of business.
Yeah.
So I think Game Pass is really great. I'm hoping that this is, because EA Access has been so popular. And
well, I can't sing the praises of that feature enough.
Yeah.
I've got probably a good 20, 30 games on my hard drive that I need to start, which is on EA Access. Unravel was part of EA Access. I have Dragon Age Inquisition waiting for me to actually start it.
And now imagine for $10 a month, you can get, games from across multiple publishers. I think this is great, and I will happily pay this, and this will get me to use my Xbox One way more. Because if I can get a multi-platform game on the Xbox One as part of my subscription, that...
You'll play it there.
Yeah, I'll play it there. I mean, as much as I want to use my PS4 for everything, a game for that price is better. And like Knob says, that might mean I don't use GameFly anymore. Or it's just PS4 games on GameFly. Yeah. And hopefully Sony does this too. This is the replacement that Sony needs for PlayStation Now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that would make sense.
Yeah, I would happily pay I'd happily pay $10 a month for both platforms for the same feature, easily. And that would mean, like Knobs, when we were talking the other night while I was playing Yakuza 0, you said, "Man, I think I'd really like Yakuza 0." if you could just download it and put a couple hours into it on a rainy Saturday, sure, why not?
Yeah.
And if you really like it, you get to add it to your library for 20% off. That'd be great. Everybody wins, especially Sega.
That'd be perfect, actually, yeah.
Sega needs a win.
They do.
All right, so I think we'll talk a lot more about that whenever it comes out. I don't think it has a launch date yet.
I think it's June.
Xbox Insider can do an alpha test of it right now. I should see if I'm still in that. And apparently it's going to launch in spring. So should only be a couple of months. So we probably won't talk a lot about it until it comes out, but I'm assuming probably all three of us will at least give it a shot. So keep tuning in to this fantastic show. Next news story, Donnie Yen will star in a Sleeping Dogs movie.
That is perfect.
Yeah.
I honestly
I
cannot think of anyone better to be that guy.
Yeah. I mean, that's really the whole news story. I mean, I don't know what else you need, but I think that'll be really great. Donnie Yen is a really great actor, and Sleeping Dogs was a really great game with a really fun Chinese action movie storyline. So smushing the two of them together seems like a no-brainer.
The only caveat is someone's head needs to be shoved into an air conditioner.
I mean, I feel like you have to. It's already got to be in the script at this point, right?
That has to happen.
Yeah. Or some sort of spinning fan on the side of a building or something like that.
Oh, man, that hacienda attack thing would be really cool on screen.
Yeah, to hit somebody with a fish.
What was that, wedding that you
the
crashed?
wedding.
That was...
Yeah. Man, that game
I
was
was going to say Frozen Swordfish.
Yeah, Frozen Swordfish. Start stabbing some dudes. Man. Next news story. Bungie has finally come out and announced what is going to be carrying over to the Destiny sequel, which is very explicitly not called Destiny 2, because they're Bungie and they're weird. Basically your character appearance and names will carry over as long as you have finished the Destiny storyline from vanilla Destiny. So you hit level 20 and you finished, you shot all those statues at the end of that game. And that's it. So
no emblems, nothing, no customizations or
the only thing that emblems is my only question at this point. I don't really care about the rest of the stuff. Emblems, I've worked really hard for a lot of those emblems. That's the only thing I would really care about otherwise, but nothing you've purchased, no weapons, no armor, no anything. It's just your characters and their customizations, and I think your class. I don't even know if they explicitly say that. But basically, they're, like most people suspected, they're hitting the reset button on this, and you get to carry over what your character looks like. Hopefully you get to change it, Bungie. Sort of maybe Mass Effect 2 style. But I think that's really great, but I think Destiny really needs a reset button right now. For Destiny 1 was very much like, hey, let's try this thing. Whoops, we broke a lot, and we put a lot of cool stuff in here that we can't fix. Let's try again. I'm very curious for you, Knobs. Do you think that hitting the reset button and potentially coming out with a much different and much larger Destiny and Destiny 2, do you think that's something that you would be interested in giving a shot?
It depends on how hard the hype train hits me, because I honestly was completely disinterested in it, and then all of a sudden I was really interested, and then I played it and I was like, all right, that's a thing.
Yeah, you never got...
And never went back.
You never got bitten by the Diablo bug like I did for Destiny. Where it's... You're chasing the loot.
Well, because I was already in a loot hunt by the time I was already playing Destiny with a game I enjoyed playing far more as far as Borderlands is concerned.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So I chose Borderlands over Destiny. I was already scratching that itch.
Yeah, you already had your loot treadmill going on.
Right.
Yeah. Moon, did you play Destiny 1? I don't remember.
I played Destiny 1 on the 360.
Oh, boy.
At the time I had my Xbox One, my wife didn't have hers, so we picked up Destiny on the 360. We beat it, like we beat Vanilla Destiny, and then like we did pretty much everything we could do. Like we did all the raids, we did all that kind of stuff. The thing that kind of got us out of it was we basically did that in a weekend.
Oh, right.
Like over the course of like 2 days, like we played it solidly for like 2 or 3 days. We basically beat the game. We found a decent little squad. We did a raid, all of the raids with it, and then we were just.
You sort of turn around and you're like, "Where's
the rest of it?" kind of
Yeah.
thing. And then when they announced, "Oh, this is the season pass. This is the DLC," our response was, "We ain't paying another $60 or £60 in my case.
Oh, yikes.
So we're not going to fork out another, 120 of our respective currencies to basically continue playing this game," which, while it satisfied us originally, it was content lacking, and we didn't trust Bungie to deliver on the rest of the season pass or the rest of the expansions.
Yeah,
So-
and thankfully the rumors that are coming out about, we'll just keep calling it Destiny 2, seems to be that is, priority one in their minds is we can't put out another game that people sit down, they tuck into for a weekend because they're excited about it, and they finish it, and then they go, wait, what happened? The stranger gave me a weapon, and now I'm done?
Yeah, and that's kind of how I felt. Like, I thought that game climax when he went out and dropped the giant head at that dude's feet, and I was like, all right, this is cool, and then it went nowhere.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the rumor seems to be there's going to be 4 times more planets, and there's going to be towns and quests on each one of them and stuff like that. That's the right... keep pushing the needle towards the MMO side of it. More content, more daily stuff, more weekly quests, more dungeons, all that stuff. You fill in that loot grind that they eventually got to 2.5 years into Destiny. Take all of those lessons and make Destiny 2 really great. And start the, hit the reset button and try again. And the funniest thing I think has been a lot of journalists that haven't been playing Destiny, because everybody in the Destiny community seems to be like, yeah, it's a bummer, we're losing a lot of stuff, but yeah, go ahead and let's try again. The thing I've been seeing from a lot of people is like, why aren't you more upset about this? You're losing your characters. It's like, yeah, but it's like Borderlands.
You had your fun with your characters.
Well, it's like Borderlands 1 to 2. I'd love to keep this character and all the gear and all this stuff for, the next, let's say the next 10, 15 years. But if hitting the reset button gives me Borderlands 2 over Borderlands 1, hit the reset button now and I'll wait. That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
If I get Diablo 2 instead of Diablo 1, just nuke it from space. Let's go. That's fine.
That's one of the things. Like, most of the loot and things you accrue in these styles of games, you never use it anyway.
Yeah.
You have your primary stuff, and that's it.
Yeah, I have almost all the exotics, and most of those are kind of a badge of honor. I went through this stuff to get this thing, and then it goes in my vault. So...
Right, and you forget it's there, and you never use it again.
And Bungie has said, all of that stuff is going to live on in Destiny 1 until they turn off the servers for that, probably in a couple of years. So that's fine. You can go back down memory lane to do that, unless you're on 360 and PS3, which, that ship sailed a couple of months ago. But yeah.
If they're taking the lessons as heartily as they should have done from Destiny 1. Yeah, okay, people have got a right to be upset if they want to be upset. But I think the reason why most people aren't is because if they're taking as much away from the first one as they seem to be, then yeah, you might have to start your character again in Destiny 2. Mm-hmm. What's to stop them from then taking all of that information and knowing all of the things they've learned and taking the character you start in 2 and take over that character to 3?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yep. Well, and like,
You know, if
I-
they have to do it, then they have to do it.
and I love playing Destiny so much that you tell me I get to start at 0 again. Great. In like a new Destiny
Start the
game
cycle
with new
all
stuff.
over again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's this, you know, it's the thing that I've been likening it to when I'm talking to people is Diablo 1 to Diablo 2 and Borderlands 1 to Borderlands 2. I mean, when you started with Borderlands 2 and you didn't even have the same characters and you're starting back at 0, it's like, cool. Immediately, this is a much better game. And I have faith that they have heard at least heard the complaints and they've taken some of them to heart. We'll see over the next couple of months. It's supposed to come out in fall, even though nobody has really said except for an investor call. So we'll see in a couple of months, you know, at E3 when the hype train starts, you know, did you learn your lessons? Did you really come in and say, well, yeah, we've been hearing your complaints and what are you going to do about them? And I'll be there day one, so we'll find out in a couple of months, I guess, whether I'm cheering for joy or crying and be like, they did it to us again. Why? How can they get away with this? Good times.
Let me buy the season pass again.
Oh, I'm going to buy the most expensive collector's edition, hands down, because I missed some glowing Ghost this first time around, and I am still salty about it, because I think Ghost is cool. Grumble. It's going to come with some dumb book. I'm going to love it. Ugh. All right, let's move on to the next news story. Whoop, go ahead.
I was just going to say, what if it comes with a Sparrow that's got Sparrow Racing League written on the side of it?
Moon, I can... So excited, I'm just going to pass out.
No, it's going to come with a logo that says Project Sparrow.
Well, it's Project Sparrow, though. Questions. Next news story, Nintendo confirms the Nintendo Switch cartridges are supposed to taste terrible.
So people don't put them in their mouths.
Unless you want to say, how terrible. It's like the version of, like, this smells terrible, smell this. The big thing on the internet, started by one Jeffrey Gerstmann of GiantBomb.com.
Of course.
Was, this thing tastes terrible. Don't taste it. It tastes terrible. So, a bunch of people saying, like, how bad? Yeah. Basically, Nintendo said, like, yeah, they're small, but we put a coating on them so that kids and pets don't eat them because there are kids and pets out there. So stop eating your Switch cartridges. They're supposed to taste bad. They're coated with denatonium benzoate. So
jeez.
Don't stop eating them. Stop chewing on them. They will taste bad.
I think this is my favorite, hilariously bad, necessary PSA ever.
Yeah, like a bunch of people writing in to Nintendo saying, like, are these cartridges supposed to taste bad? And Nintendo being like, yeah, bro.
No, they should respond as, why are you putting it in your mouth?
Why would you do that? Why would he do that? Get that out of your mouth. Drop it. Drop it.
Sit.
2017. Next news story. Oculus has announced they are cutting the price of the Rift headset and touch controller bundle from $800 to $600. The touch controllers are down to $100 from $200. That seems like a really good... This, to me, I think a lot of people's knee-jerk reactions were like, well, they're doomed. It's fail. It's shut up, close down shop. The ship is... No. Things get cheaper as the technology gets easier to make. To me, it's the same as the de novo DRM thing, where a bunch of companies have it for the first couple of weeks while the game is out, and like a month in, they put out a patch and it just strips the DRM. They've already saved their sales. They've gotten through the important part. Oculus has gotten the money they needed to from early adopters. They want your money now that it's cheaper. Right. They want more money, so now it's less expensive to purchase.
Well, that's the only way they're going to get people sitting on the fence is to make it cheaper.
Yeah, you have a VR capable PC, and it's like, well, $600. I mean, that's not so bad. I mean, it's not $800. That's okay. And I got the controllers with them. all right. That's my hemming and hawing noise.
My immediate reaction to this was, crap, get everything off the shelf before the injunction comes in.
Yeah, just like, what do you want it for 20 bucks? Yeah, how much you have?
No, if it was sub $400, absolutely, they're trying to move all the inventory.
Or if it's like sub $400, they have a new one they're going to announce soon.
Yes.
You know, like the Oculus Rift 2. Here it is. It's a $900. But it's really good, guys. There's a 4K screens in it. And it's wireless.
But no, this seems like a reasonable amount of money to cut to increase sales and catch the people sitting on the fence.
Has it been
That's
out?
what it seems like, yeah.
For almost 2 years?
Yep.
Well over a year at this point, so yeah.
Yeah. It's about the right time as well. That's normally what you see in console prices drop as well.
Yeah, that's what I was
like
just
you'll
gonna
see
say.
it after the first year. Is like, oh no, the Xbox One dropped $200. Oh no, Microsoft's going out of business.
Oh god.
Yeah, I wish they would do that before I decided to buy 3 or 4 of the damn things.
Early adopters, they got your money, knobs.
Mm-hmm.
And last news story, but certainly not least, we're bringing a story from across the pond for our own Liverpoolian.
Liverpudlian.
Poolionite?
Yeah. Peter Moore, our favorite Rock Band player, is leaving EA to join the Liverpool Football Club as their CEO. Moon, how do you feel about this turn of events?
Well, I mean, he's been the chief competitive officer, I believe it is, for EA recently. So, which is all esports, and to be honest, I don't pay attention to esports.
Right,
so I don't know about that type of stuff. But if he can, like, I believe I think I've read something where he is actually a huge fan of Liverpool Football Club.
Well, why wouldn't you?
So, you know, he's got the love for it. That's, like, speaking as a fan of Liverpool Football Club.
Because they're like the Browns of
We will
soccer.
support you as a human being if you are involved in our club, no matter what, through thick and thin, if you show a passion for the team.
And Peter Moore is a cool dude. That's just who he is.
Yeah. I mean, Nobs will tell you, like, I consider myself a Browns fan because I see the similarities between the Browns fans and the Liverpool Football Club fans.
God, I feel so badly for you.
Oh yeah.
Literally, anytime it gets brought up,
We're the battered wives keeping going back for more.
Yeah, just the bad news bears just showing up every week.
Yep. Every time someone asks me what's my team, and I'm like, oh, it's the Cleveland Browns, like, are you stupid? What the F are you doing supporting them?
Yeah, they're like,
You
no,
can
your
support any-
favorite, not the one you make fun of, not the punchline.
Right. Because we're Cleveland. We're a plum.
Yeah, it's true. All right, let's move on to emails. Jimbo Jangles here. So I received my Switch on launch night, waited in line for 6 hours at Best Buy, got home at 2 a.m., played Zelda until 5 a.m. I'm just tired reading this email. Was at work by 6:30 a.m. Jeez. I'm 30 and still find myself being an awful adult that chooses gaming over sleep sometimes. So it brings me to my question this week. Have you ever missed work or school because you gamed all night? Have you ever called in so you could play that shiny new console or new game? I was sure close to doing that a few days ago. What are some of your stories? Later, dudes.
I have actually never blown off adulting for gaming. Like I would go in, like I would deal with the lack of sleep to play something, but I would never call off.
Yeah, I think I was close a couple times when I was like WoW raiding, where we would be up really late. And I'd get 3 hours sleep and then show up to work and just be a zombie all day. I think maybe once I might have called in sick for a game, but I think that was on my last job. I think it might have been Metal Gear Solid 5. I think basically the whole company did. Because we were in the industry.
Well,
and it was
taking a vacation day is different than calling off sick or pulling a no-call, no-show.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I would say that's an acceptable dodge, but if you just do that and not, like, the no-call, no-show thing is just, that's BS.
If you're on the phone being like, oh, I'm so sick, it's like, is that the Zelda theme I hear in the background? It's like,
Yeah.
no, what?
Yeah, hey, the microphone's pretty good now. I can hear what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's true. Taking a personal day, scheduled is a little different from just calling in sick.
Yeah, I've done annual leave before. Like I've booked holiday days based around games coming out, but I've never. I'm like Nob said, I've done all nighters and gone in the next day. I've done lack of sleep to the wazoo, but I've never not called in. There's been times where it's like, I will have these 3 days off. You have no choice. You must give these to me because X game is coming out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, plus too, like, if you're on a team with a bunch of other people, like just taking a knee because you played a video game too late. To me, it's always felt like I'm letting the team down.
Yeah.
I could have gone to bed at 10:30 and just played more of it when I got back from work, or woken up early and played some before I went to work. There's options, but
Yeah, it's used as the motivation today to get home to play.
that's true. Bang out all your stuff at work super fast. Duck out a little bit early, maybe. Say you got an itchy throat. Oh, I'm just gonna duck out like half an hour early. Beat traffic. There you go.
You know what's funny? Every time I plan on doing that, I end up working later than I anticipate. Every time.
Yeah, you're like, I'm just gonna knock out this quick thing. 3 hours
Like,
later.
hey, it's Friday. It's a beautiful day. I want everything wrapped up by 3 bells in the afternoon. I go out golfing.
7 p.m.
5 o'clock rolls around, and I am the last person on the course, like every time.
Yeah.
But I get my hot dog, so that's all good.
Well, that's true. Let's move on over to tweets. Adderblack39 says, I really want to play Zelda Breath of the Wild. My first Zelda.
Yes.
Wow, first Zelda. That's crazy. But I'm torn between paying 120 euros more for the Switch or buying Wii U version instead. Help. Buy the Wii U one, dude. 120 euros is so much money. So here's the thing. We were just talking about this during the break. The Wii U and the Switch versions look identical. The Wii U version runs at 720p, and the Switch version runs at 900p. Other than that, there's a little bit of frame rate hitchiness between them. That's it. Just play the Wii U one, man. Save the money.
Yeah.
Yep.
Buy more games with that £120. You can buy like 2 more games probably. If you're really getting screwed, like 1. But yeah, buy more games instead of buying a Switch.
Yeah, less is more.
See? There you go. Fun for $5, just buy a bunch of games. Whatever that math works. Piggybacking on that, Roy G73 writes, any plans on buying a Switch? I have one, feels and plays great as a portable console, Vita 2, winky face, but seems less for a home console and rather expensive right now for just a portable. I feel like I have purchased enough Nintendo consoles in my life that I know to wait.
Yep.
I have zero interest in picking one of these up.
Especially at launch, because I feel like the launch really has Zelda, and that's kind of it. 1-2 Switch seems fine. Snipper Clippers seems okay. Both of those are kind of, co-op, multiplayer focused. But I know a lot of people are like, yay Switch, yay Zelda, oh, all of this is so good, yeah. In 3 weeks, it's going to be the Wii and the Wii U all over again. Where it's going to be like, cool, when does Mario Odyssey come out? And do we have a Metroid? Is there one of those on the books yet? And when the answer is no to both of those, the other side of the coin is going to be like, well, just a Nintendo, how am I, where are the games? Hashtag.
Yep. You can kind of see see that train coming, but hopefully they learn their lesson with the Wii U, that those are already in development.
Yeah. Moon, what were you going to say? Sorry.
I was just going to say, here you go, you can have Skyrim again. Here you go.
I think to play devil's advocate...
Skyrim on the go!
Yeah. Well, to play devil's advocate a little bit, I think the thing that came out of GDC this week, and the thing that Nintendo is doing and needs to promote way more over the upcoming weeks, is indie games. Nicholas, the developers or the publishers of Binding of Isaac, are coming up with a couple of games over the next couple of weeks. Binding of Isaac is getting a boxed edition next month or in a couple of weeks. A lot of people seem to be excited about that. That's a portable Binding of Isaac. That's really good. They're coming out with like 1001 Spikes, a bunch of other stuff. A lot of other indie developers are going to be coming out with games. Toe Jam and Earl is going to be coming out for it when that comes out next year. I think Enter the Gungeon is coming out. There are really great and really, highly regarded indie games that are coming out that Nintendo needs to focus. You buy a Switch and you buy Binding of Isaac, you have a couple of 100 hours there in just that one game. Nevertheless, all these other great games from all these other publishers. So start pushing that now as people start to wrap up Zelda and say, all right, you've finished all these cool games. Your next adventure awaits over here on the eShop. Marketing, done. Send your check over to tvgpfans@gmail.com.
Out of curiosity, even before you buy a Switch, are you going to buy a copy of Binding of Isaac?
Already have it pre-ordered. So, for two reasons. One is, this is the first version of Binding of Isaac that has received a physical copy. I've played hundreds of hours of this game. I'd like to at least have, I can show my kids, here's this thing I wasted much of my life on. The other thing, too, is the first run of the game has a bunch of extras in it. Since it got delayed, they just announced another extra. Basically, they're recreating the Zelda 1 NES manual with Binding of Isaac stuff. So, like, the same artwork with, Mom or The Lost. It's the same form factor as that. It has the gold cover and everything. It's so good.
That's really cool.
I got Moon like halfway there to thinking about pre-ordering it with that.
A little bit, yeah.
Just think, Moon, in a couple of months, Afterbirth Plus is going to come out. You'll have even more content.
Yay!
Just think. But yeah, I don't think any of us. My wife asked me the other day because we were talking about Zelda. She said, I never asked you, do you want a Switch? And I thought about it. I was like, not yet. I don't think. Maybe at some point, because I like the idea of being able to undock it and play a full game on the screen, and then be able to dock it and have it the whole thing. But I have a PS4 and an Xbox One. I don't even touch my Xbox One.
Yeah.
So how's the Switch is going to be in third place? It's going to be that dog that's outside in the cold rain, just being like, I'll be able to come in sometime.
Sometime. Let me get my Sarah McLachlan song out.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be the Wii U.
Yeah. And I played the Wii U a little bit, but, I have Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker over here, which is a really great game, or I have Yakuza 0.
Yeah.
And that's not to say the lineup on the Wii U hasn't been good. It has. But I have all these other games that I need, and I have Breath of the Wild in my my GameFly queue for Wii U. I'd love to play it, but I'll play it on the Wii U.
You've got 100 hours.
Yeah. That's our episode this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. Email us tvgpfans@gmail.com. Tweet us at tvgp. All the stuff is on the right-hand side of the page.
And don't forget to join the forums. Please mark yourselves on the map. Join us for our game nights, Monday night, 10 p.m. EST on the Xbox One, usually playing Gears 4. Tuesdays, Destiny, until Destiny 2 comes out.
It's true.
Wednesdays, Rocket League, both those PlayStation 4, right and around 10 p.m. EST. And Thursday night, Steam game night, and come find us Friday through Saturday. It's Sunday. We're around.
Dealer's Choice, Potpourri.
That's right.
And you can watch this show
Really
live.
dangerous with me.
There you go. Hit him up. Moonpier. MOONPIER.
I saw more people playing Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse lately, too.
Just like this sphere of influence is growing. It's the dancing. That's what got him.
Yes. Bingo!
Yeah.
Hey, go!
Don't forget to watch this show live every week, twitch.tv/E1M1 Network or That Video Game Podcast on YouTube. Go subscribe or follow each one of those places, and it will let you know when we go on. We're supposed to go on at 1. We usually don't. We're busy talking about dumb stuff. We're arguing about CPUs.
Sandwiches.
Yeah, sandwiches and learning about machine learning CPUs.
Yes.
And kebabs.
It's
And
thinking.
kebabs. Yeah. We were gonna talk about Game Club this week. I will talk about it next week in some fashion. Game Club is returning. I've got a plan. We just gotta. At some point, we have to record something. That's the timing that gets hard. So when you have 3 people that are in their mid-30s, time is short sometimes. But talk about that next week. It's still coming back. I promise, and it will be good. Probably. I can semi-promise that. It'll be all right. It'll be fine. It'll be okay. We'll
Sure.
see you all next week.
Laters.
Bye.
All right, Moon titles.
Okey-doke. I'm totally going to go out and smash our router in a little bit. So, wish me good luck.
You gonna do the what now?
I'm going to go and smash our router, or our modem, however
Okay.
you want to say.
Either one.
Okay, titles. Filling in all my holes.
Oh, Moon.
You died in the purple mist. Poop-covered Zelda. What is a tinted rock? Knobs of sleepy time. Swing away Boston. Slotty Senior. Where's the rest of it? And still salty.
I have Shotted, Menacing Death Ninja, What the Hell's Wikipedia, Wing Up, which I really like, A Poop-Covered Zelda, and Loot Treadmill.
I like Wing Up.
Yeah, I like Wing Up too. We don't often have super short titles. That's fun. That's a fun verb-ish. I don't know. Starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 489 from March 6th, 2017. Wing Up.
Mom, we gotta go.
Commander Moonpier reporting for duty.
All right, thank you very much, everyone, for joining us live yet again. Thank you very much. We love you all.
Yep.
See you next week. Bye.
See ya.
Go goals.